Hello, mini freaks. Hey, oh, what now, man? That one was pretty good. Really? You like that one? Yeah. You might want to stick with that one for a little while. See how it feels. Okay, all right. Hello, mini freaks. My name is DJ, and this is my world in miniature. Oh. Okay, so today we're going to be painting this unit of Liberators. They're all going to be gold and silver. Silver for the meshes underneath, gold for the armor. And we're going to do all the shoulder pads and the backgrounds of the shields a really nice cobalty blue. I don't know, but yeah, they're going to be blue, silver, white, and gold. So let's get to base coating. Get your breaking news here first on MWIM. It seems that something has happened with our beloved mini painter since that last clip. We take it live now to DJ in the field. DJ? Something that I am using while painting is making me have an allergic reaction. I don't know what it is. The symptoms are my tongue goes numb. I don't know if it's going to get worse if I just ignore it. I've done some tests with the primer that I use for these guys on here, and I thought maybe it was the primer. That didn't do anything. Like, I know that the mica inside the metallic paints might give me an issue. Nobody at any of the stores have figured it out. I found the reason why I know it's something I'm painting with is when I'm painting at home, it happens, and then it goes away when I don't paint. When I was at Warhammer store yesterday, I opened up my paint palette to paint while I was waiting for a game, and it happened there, meaning that it was something in the paint palette. And the only thing I had in the paint palette was the water, the paper, and a metallic gold paint from Reaper. The only water I put in the wet palette is distilled water, so there's nothing in it but H2O, and I'm not allergic to water. So process of elimination should say it has to be the paint. So in order to test it, to make sure that it is Reaper paint and not something outside of painting that's going on, that's the reason why we're here. I'm going to be using these paints to paint the unit of Liberators so that I can test it to see if it's the paint or not. I was told by the guy inside the store, who could be wrong, that they don't use much thinner or any agents inside their paints. It's just straight up whatever oil or medium they use to make the paint. Because the way you make paint is you grind up the pigment into a medium. Oil paints usually use laxseed oil or something like that, like a really thick oil. They use this little, it looks like a pawn for chess, and they just like do this until the pigment makes the oil change color. That's how you make paint, and you do that with acrylics too, except they use an acrylic medium instead of an oil medium. So yeah, that's how paints are made. He said that they don't add anything else, because usually with miniature paints they add thinner to it to make the paints thinner. Alright, DJ from the future here to tell you that I was wrong.
That's a first.
Turns out I'm not allergic to any of the paints. I left all that in because I say some interesting stuff about how paint is made, and I kind of wanted you to see how my anxiety really works in real time. Here's some shots of Lilu so that you're not bored while I'm talking about this, but it turns out that when I started painting these miniatures, I actually changed a whole lot in my life. I started exercising, eating better, taking care of myself, all that kind of stuff. I was trying to turn over a new leaf while starting this channel. One of the things that I did is I have a beard in real life that I usually let get to be mid-chest or something like that, and I started using a beard oil, and the beard oil has something in it that does aggravate me. I haven't been using it for a couple of days, and everything has gone fine. Everything's back to normal. After all that, I was going to show you me unboxing the Citadel paints, and actually one of the paints had exploded, well, not exploded, but leaked. I don't like them at all. So these Liberators are all going to be painted in Reaper paints, because that's the paints I like. Later on, maybe we'll do a head-to-head or whatever of some paint brands to see if maybe there's something that beats the Reaper brand. But I'm just going to paint these Liberators in Reaper paints only. This has made it to where I have to strip some minis, but I need to learn how to do that anyways. It's really easy. It's just soaking them in isopropyl alcohol. And then scrubbing them off with a toothbrush. And then you wash it in soap when you're done, just to get all the little tiny paint particles off. I'm going to show you how to paint one of the models, and then we will show all of them painted because they're all painted exactly the same way, and I don't want to bore you with 5 of the exact same thing. We'll paint the leader because he's got the most colors and he's got the cool little head thingy, and then you can see the whole unit after that. Before we move on, Editor DJ?
Yes?
Can we switch up the music here, not be as kind of gloomy?
Yeah, let me see what I can do. How about this?
No, it's too, oh brother, where art thou?
Okay, how about this?
It's too stuffy. We need something more, like chill, but a little energetic, you know?
Oh, I got you. I got the perfect thing right here.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. All right, let's get to painting. While I'm base coating this Liberator, I want to talk to you about how hard this video was to make. Between thinking I was allergic to the paints and having to buy overpriced paints just to paint 2 minis and ultimately not like them, then having to strip them and start over, this video has been an emotional roller coaster. I've gone through so many iterations of what this video could be before landing on this. I've been so caught up in getting this unit painted, I haven't even put together the Thousand Suns Combat Patrol I got. All that to say, I am finally glad that I have sorted everything out and can now just paint. I've already painted one of these Liberators to figure out my order of operations for army painting. I've settled on a 3-step process. I wanted to paint the other 4 first to nail it down and get some practice before doing the unit focal point. This is a dollar store craft stick painted with the same primer I use for my models. What I have done is make a color guide of sorts. Gold slightly change hues based on the color underneath them. As seen here, the second one from the left is a base coat of pine green, while the second one from the right is a fire red. The green undercoat makes the gold a little cooler, and the red makes it a little warmer.
Obviously.
This swatch stick is each color I'm going to use on the unit, with the most used color on the left and the least used on the right, with the wash off to the side. With each color I'm going to use, I have created a gradient by glazing the highlight color, working my way to the top of the stick. This helps me visualize the shadows and highlights on the model before I commit to painting, plus it gives me a much needed practice with glazing. Not that kind of glazing. Oh, and one more thing, I have this unused action camera that I've been trying to find a way to use for my videos. The description said it shoots in 4K 60, but the footage I get out of it is a downgrade from my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra's camera that I've been using this entire time. If someone can tell me if or how I can fix these quality problems, please let me know in the comment. Having another camera to use would definitely help me out. Looky what I got. That's right, I joined the cult. A lot of the people at Paint Club, they all have this. I got to use, look through it a little bit yesterday at Paint Club. I kind of like the way it was, but there's no denying that it showed me all the little tiny fiddly bits in this shield that I would like to fix on future models. It lets me see the little things. I'm having trouble in my old age. Have a nice day. Thank you so much. Do you see that? It says have a nice day. Aww. That was not as smooth as I'd hope it was. Ooh. Thank you for purchasing. Thank you for supplying. Dear valued customer, at Yokoto-san, customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. So if for any reason there is anything missing, incorrect, not fitting, different than you expected, please reach out to us. We love to have the opportunity to take care of you and provide total satisfaction. You may contact us and send us a message through your order at Amazon. Thank you. Best regards, Yokoto-san, Customer Care Team. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, Yokoto-san. Here's the instructions. Who needs those? Ooh.
Ah! Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
There's also light in here, apparently. And you turn this to... Oh! Look at that, there's a light. Two modes that blinded me. I was looking directly into it when I turned it on. It's movable! What? Oh, yeah! I've been watching a lot of, can't remember his name. It's driving me crazy. I've been watching a lot of Dank Pods lately. He's a very enthusiastic man about all his nerdy, old-school tech stuff. Anyway, it comes with a band, so I can switch this out for a band if I choose. And it is micro USB. Tisk tisk, Yokoto-san. Tisk tisk. Where's the USB-C charging? It's okay, it's a pretty niche piece of equipment. This is what's really cool. It comes with like different magnifying glasses. It goes from 1x all the way to 2.5x, if I remember correctly. Oh, it's 3.5. Ooh. So I want to know, like, how long does it expect this to go on a charge? Because I didn't buy the battery version, I bought the rechargeable version. Oh, rechargeable battery model, capacity 300 milliamp hours, and it draws 0.15. Not to do the math. It's the intermission! Can you name this movie in the comments?
And there were bugs flying all over the place. It's the most amazing thing I ever saw. More amazing than the time Michael Jackson came over your house to use the bathroom.
More amazing than the time you saved those old people from that nursing home fire, right?
Yeah, and I bet it was even more amazing than the time you ate your weight in Godfather's Pizza, right?
Okay, Brand. Michael Jackson didn't come over to my house. He's a bachelor. But his sister did.
Excelente suposición. Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out if you're right. I may have been a little too rough on my brushes. So I went out and I got some kind of better brushes. They are literally worth 4 to 5 times more than the other brushes were. So who knows? So there he is, base coated. It's a daunting process. Not because it's difficult. It's not, because I painted 4 models that look just like this one. But it's daunting because I just didn't want to paint this model. I really did not want to paint this guy. And it's important to me to finish it and to make it look somewhat good, because I need to learn how to do things that I don't necessarily want to do. And that's really hard to explain because this is all stuff that I want to do, or else I wouldn't be doing it. It's not necessarily that I don't want to paint miniatures anymore. I just don't want to paint this many, and I'm getting tired of gold. You need 3 to 4 coats for it to actually work, which is why I put the red down first, then the gold, thinking that it might take less coats. But it didn't. It didn't take any less coats. It just changed the color of the gold, which is fine, and I'm okay with that because he's the leader, and I want to differentiate him anyways. But I'm really adamant about finishing him and at least making him as good as the other ones. The stripping process just didn't work very well. I had a big chunk of primer just flake off. I don't even know where it is anymore. It's somewhere over here. Just flake off of the back of the shield while I was painting it. And, like, I know all these problems because I'm the one painting him and putting him together. You guys won't see that when I put him on in the booth or whatever and do the photo shoot at the end. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I just want to be done with them. Like, I'm in the middle of putting together my Thousand Suns army because I want to play as them. And tomorrow I was going to go in and play as them, but I'm not going to get them done today because I got to get this guy done. And this guy's going to take me another probably 5 hours of painting just to get all the shadows and highlights on him. And then I can start putting together the other stuff. I haven't even put together the Demon Prince because he's the last one. I was going to, like, he's part of another video of me unboxing the Thousand Suns army, and I need to put him together on camera. I've put together most of it, just not him, and he's the biggest part of it. He's got the most pieces. He's got like 3 sprues all to himself. Anyway, all that to say, let's finish him up. Let's just get him over with. Let's get it over with. Man. I've even painted, look, see, look, I'll even show you guys something I'm not going to do on camera, okay? Look, I've even painted this guy in Paint Club in between these things, these Liberator unit. And this guy is just a Pug Krampus that you saw in the Christmas video, because right now I am filming on December 11th? or something like that. Like I'm pretty far ahead, which is why I'm not like super stressed about not painting this guy, or not painting this guy, because I'm so far ahead in my filming schedule. But I could be taking time off, or like not painting something I hate or whatever. But yeah, I've painted this guy, which I'm going to finish tomorrow, hopefully at Paint Club. I am talking more than I should just to keep from not painting this guy. Why? Alright, so after having a brief mental breakdown, I got back to painting this guy. This entire time lapse is just me glazing up to the highlights. I only use 2 colors to paint 1 color, so if I want a red, I choose 2 different color reds that I want one to be a shadow red and one to be a highlight red, and then I gradiate it, use a gradient to go up. And the way you get a gradient is by glazing. Glazing is very watered down paint that you paint over and over and over again in the same spot. And then you get a gradient, and you just cover a little bit less every time you paint. That's what I'm doing now, is doing that glazing process. Actually, it's really interesting. Look at my paint palette. This is what it looked like when I was done with this guy. You can see that I'm using a technique where I do a gradient on the palette through the colors. There's something they do in oil painting. You do the gradient on the palette, and then you choose from the gradient on the palette to paint on the canvas or on the mini. And so yes, this is one step in glazing, but it's actually a bunch of steps in one, because I'm taking from different parts of that string that you see on the palette to do the glaze. So it's not like I'm using the same color to glaze. I'm changing colors while I'm glazing. It's really, I feel like it's complicated while I'm trying to explain it to you, but that's what I'm doing here. So it's actually, I think of it as a 2-step process, but it's actually just a process with multiple sub-steps. But basically that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be starting a competition piece here in a little bit that I will bring you guys along on the journey with, and I'm going to be changing that up though and using multiple colors, like more than 2 colors per color. So hopefully I can get 3, maybe even 4 colors per color and get a really nice gradient. I'm still getting some inspiration for it, but I'll definitely let you guys know when I start it. But yeah, so this is what I'm doing here. I'm just sitting and I am glazing over and over again, pulling different colors from the paint, mixing a little bit as I'm on the palette to get the shadows and highlights that I want on the miniature. As we're coming to a close here, I just want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this cluster F of a video. It's been extremely daunting to try and film this one, because it just took me a month, and I had to figure out stuff about being allergic to stuff, and then I ended up just being allergic to something that wasn't even related to the channel or painting at all. But it freaked me out for a little bit, and I don't think I'm ever going to paint a unit again. 5 minis in one video is just a little bit of a pain, especially since I don't know any speed painting techniques. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much again, and once I got done with the glazing here, I called it a wrap. Let me know what you think of this unit down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that YouTuber stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace!